Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good day out there today, and welcome back here to the very final episode of Mental Mondays here on Intuitive Angling. And I sort of want to take some time to sort of explain to you guys why I'm going to stop doing the Mental Monday videos. And first of all, I'd like to just extend everybody a big thank you to all you guys that have supported and been part of Mental Mondays. Since I think I started it about 3 years ago or something. I've sort of it's like a little community. I've got to know a lot of you guys that tune in regularly, and I sort of want to take this time in this video to explain to you why I've decided to stop doing the Mental Mondays here on Intuitive Angling. And to be honest with you guys, this has been my favorite part of the channel. I mean, out of all the YouTube stuff I've done, having a chance to do the Mental Monday videos has been my favorite part of it. If you guys, haven't seen Mental Mondays, or if you're just tuning in for the first time, I sort of tried to use this opportunity to talk about things that maybe would help people out, people that are struggling, talk a lot about current events, talk about a lot of things that affect people's lives, which includes current events, politics, all that type of stuff. So it's been a pretty diverse, range of topics there. And throughout the course of this, guys, I have learned a tremendous amount about human behavior, because Mental Mondays, they never did get very many views. I got the least amount of views on Mental Mondays of any video I did, but I got a lot of comments, because when you're talking about things that affect people's lives and affect them mentally and emotionally and spiritually, you get a lot of different feedback. I get a lot of criticism on Mental Mondays. I've had to delete hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments of just hateful, vitriolic, type comments that we have on there. So from that standpoint, it's been challenging to say the least as far as the topics on there. But we sort of want to talk a little bit about, why I've decided to cancel the videos here. One of the things that I have noticed, doing these Mental Mondays, it has really, I've learned so much about people as far as how they react to different situations and scenarios, and about how people they're so different, yet at the same time there's a lot of similarities within everybody out there. There's a lot of common threads, but there's a tremendous amount of division. And as I evolved in Mental Mondays and I started expanding the topics a little bit more, I started noticing an increase in that division amongst different groups of people. And Mental Mondays has cost me tens of thousands of subscribers. I've had literally tens of thousands of people unsubscribe from Intuitive Angling because of Mental Mondays, simply because I give my opinion on stuff. And a lot of the opinions that I give, they're not controversial, but they're opinions people are very opinionated about. It could be belief systems, it could be finances, it could be politics, it could be business, it could be life philosophies in general. And a lot of people are extremely sensitive about that. A lot of people, a lot of people have a difficult time accepting the viewpoint of other people without trying to demonize them. And the Mental Mondays was a prime example of that. Now, here's the main reason I decided to quit doing Mental Mondays is over the past year, I've started to do a lot more videos on topics that affect people mentally within the country here, and a lot of those divisions have to do with with different type of political affiliations. Although I have never, if you guys have watched the channel here, I have never ever mentioned a politician by name. I've never endorsed or villainized any political point of view. I've been completely neutral in it. So I've been trying to offer a well-rounded, point of view on that. But whether it be politics or belief systems or just my general opinion on life, there's a lot of people out there that they have such a rigid worldview that anytime you try to offer a counter to that worldview, they get hateful and mean and vitriolic. And it started to get to the point where I got so many hateful, vitriolic comments just from voicing my opinion on something that it's not worth my energy to do that. I'll give you a prime example, guys. I did a video on Lake Mead last year, and I was talking about the problems that Lake Mead has and the problems we have in the western part of the country that were tied into the climate change issues. And I was basically I was talking about what the Bureau of Land Management and different agencies out there, their mitigation efforts into, climate change on the western part of the country. And of course, there's a lot of climate deniers out there that deny scientific reality, and they try to villainize, people, climate data and that type of stuff. And they have a worldview that's dug in, and they're not going to change that worldview. I lost 700 subscribers in one day on that video. And this has happened, excuse me, this has happened a lot on different type of topics out there. So I've realized that anytime that I talk about topics that are really important, things that affect your lives and your mental state and your well-being, like, different type of belief systems, policy issues, different type of political climates that really affect our life through legislation, that there is a segment of the population out there, and I put that segment, from what I've seen at Middle Mondays, at about probably 25 to 30% of the overall population, that they have such a rigid ideological worldview that it's almost like it's almost like a war to them. It's like anytime somebody challenges that worldview, they get to the point where they're almost violent about it. And I don't have the energy and the time to address that. Initially I would respond to those comments because I wanted to try to, I wanted to try to open a dialogue up, like a respectful, intelligent, dialogue on any topic. But a lot of those people I couldn't reach. It didn't. I could present them with irrefutable facts and evidence backed up by multiple, legitimate sources over and over again. And basically they sort of have this worldview is, up is down and down is up. And it's like, whatever you say, I don't believe it. It doesn't make any difference. If it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you tell me the sun's out there, they're going to say, no, it's dark. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's dark out and the moon's out. Literally, that's to the extent that some of those people were. And I found myself, putting too much energy into that. And overall, I just didn't see it good for the channel. Now, at some point, maybe one of these days, when the intuitive angling sort of run its course and people they got bored of hearing me talk about fishing, maybe I'll reopen it up and I'll have a channel just to give nothing but my opinions on stuff like that, which I would really enjoy. But for now, I'm gonna stop doing the Middle Monday videos out there. And I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be disappointed in that because we've had a lot of really strong supporters of Middle Mondays. I've got a bunch of people out there it's the favorite part of their channel. So, I apologize for you guys to do that. But literally, if a lot of you supporters out there of Middle Mondays, if you would have seen some of the messages and comments that I have gotten off of simply voicing my opinion, and I try to put all of my opinions in a intelligent, critical thinking, respectful point of view. I've never tried to make anybody feel lesser or bad about their point of view. I just tried to offer a point of view to try to get a conversation going on that, to maybe we can come together some type of a meaningful dialogue. And guys, I'm telling you right now, there's 25% of the people out there that do not want any part of that. And a lot of that it's the way people were raised. It's the peer group they surround themselves with. A lot of people have such a incredibly rigid worldview on things in their lives that they don't want any type of challenge or any type of counter to that. A lot of those people I've known that I've had to delete and block from the channel is that they're never around anyone that counters what they may believe or think. And that's dangerous. It's like when we get to a point in the society where we can't have an open, respectful, intelligent discussion on whatever the topic is, we've reached a point where it's very destructive to society. And I've seen us reach that point here on Middle Mondays, especially, this is an election season, everybody's uptight about it. That's in this particular cycle. So it's really been magnified, over this particular election cycle. But one of the things I'll leave you guys with, before we get back to just the regular fishing videos and the live scope bashing videos, which by the way are not going to stop, I just want to leave this with you guys out there, as far as the Mental Monday fans and the Mental Monday haters out there. It's like we have got to get along on this planet. It's like we have got to stop villainizing each other. And it's like when we villainize somebody because they don't vote the same way we do, or they don't believe the same thing that we do after you die, or they don't have the same viewpoint on money, or whatever it could be, or they don't have, or if they believe the earth is flat and you can't tell them that it's round, whatever it is out there, we have got to be able to acknowledge that we may not agree with somebody else, but they have the right to their opinion, and that should be respected. And the only time it becomes a problem is when somebody else's worldview or somebody else's belief system directly infringes on somebody else's way of life. Then it becomes an issue. But until then, it's like, what a boring world it would be is if we all thought the same and didn't have any type of variations as humans out there. Another thing that I'll say finally on the last Mental Monday here is that truth is the truth. It's like there's not anything that is an alternative fact, or there's not anything that is misinformation or disinformation that is not actually that, if you can back it up by evidence. And we have, one of the things that I have noticed in our society the last couple of years, or the last 4 or 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, is there's a segment of the people out there that operate from an alternative sense of facts in the sense of a worldview out there. And that is by design by a lot of the people that have been in positions of power. So I would encourage everybody out there to expand your sources. When you're talking about things that affect your life, whatever it may be, take the time to expand your sources and get your information and your sources from a wide range of different legitimate outlets that have the ability to have that viewpoint backed up by evidence and fact. And that evidence, it's something is either true or it's not true. And guys, I can tell you right now, and I'll leave with this with the final Monday, is there are a lot of people out there that are in denial of reality on a lot of different issues. And that does not serve anybody well. That creates chaos, that creates anger, that creates division, all of the negative emotions we have in the human experience. We have got to transition our society where we place value on things like kindness and compassion and empathy and integrity and courage and critical thinking skills and decisions that are backed up by scientific fact-based data, and quit undermining that, quit undermining science, quit undermining fact if it doesn't fit into somebody's worldview. And that right there is basically why I'm not going to do the Mental Monday videos anymore out there, is because there are so many people out there that simply do not, they do not operate under those pretenses. So it's like they always say, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And when you got somebody that is, their worldview is so baked into their personal experience that they can't even talk about it without getting mad or violent, then at that point it's useless to have a conversation. But anyway, guys, just be kind to everybody, man. Just the only thing that matters, literally the only thing that matters on this planet is loving somebody and being loved by somebody else. When you're on your deathbed, if you're fortunate enough to live 90 or 100 years from now, you're not going to look back and say, God dang, I wish I'd have voted for that politician that would have gave me a bigger tax break, or I wish I would have done this or that. You're going to be remembering those times in your life when you were happy and joyful, and that you experienced love and that you gave love. That's the only thing that matters worth a crap in this life out there. So don't get sucked in and don't get destructive. Don't get, sucked into the destruction and the destructive attitude that we have seen perpetuate this country specifically over the past 7 or 8 years. It's a bad deal. So anyway, guys, love you all out there. Really appreciate you guys' support of the channel, and we'll get back on, bashing live scope and giving you guys some good old-fashioned hogging tips, and making 80% of you guys happy and making 20% of you guys wish I'd get off YouTube because I say something you don't agree with fishing wise. So hope you guys are well. We'll talk later.